Could the largest monument on Earth be the smoking gun of a highly advanced pre-Ice Age civilization that was systematically erased from history by a global cataclysm? Standing as the last remaining wonder of the ancient world, the Great Pyramid of Giza has defied time for over 4 millennia. On the surface, the story we are taught in school looks incredibly simple, but behind closed doors,
structural engineers and physicists are realizing that the laws of mainstream archaeology make absolutely no mechanical sense.
For generations, the established historical narrative has presented a seemingly flawless foundation. Around 2500 BC, the Great Pyramid of Giza was erected over a 20-year period as a monumental tomb for 4th dynasty pharaoh Khufu. The academic proof for this timeline relies almost entirely on crude, red paint graffiti, discovered deep within a cramped, stress-relieving chamber above the king's chamber in 1837. Bearing the pharaoh's name, the sheer logistical scale of this official story sounds like an engineering miracle, because Bronze Age laborers supposedly achieved this using nothing but copper chisels, wooden mallets, dolerite hammerstones, and wet quartz sand as a slow, abrasive, while the bulk limestone was quarried locally on the plateau. The massive 80-ton granite blocks, forming the inner chambers, had to be transported over 800 kilometers from Aswan, floated down the Nile River, on specially engineered wooden rafts. To move these terrifyingly heavy masses vertically into the sky, traditional models claim that hundreds of workers pulled the stones up a straight, colossal external earthen ramp. But this is the hidden detail most experts overlook.
Because the moment you calculate the raw physics of a straight incline, the entire traditional narrative structurally collapses.
While a massive straight external ramp wouldn't simply collapse under its own mass if properly engineered, constructing one would require more physical material and volume than the actual pyramid itself, leaving a massive structural footprint that simply does not exist. This is the exact moment everything changed, as modern engineering makes the classical straight ramp obsolete by introducing a far more elegant solution. Jean-Pierre Houdin's internal, spiraling ramp model. To solve this monumental paradox, researchers realized that instead of painstakingly stacking millions of individual blocks using external earthworks, the architects may have utilized an internal tunnel system to raise the stones step by step. Yet, a more disruptive alternative, known as the unbuilding theory, suggests the architects actually built a massive, crude, trapezoidal mountain of limestone first, to act as a stable work platform. From this elevated deck, master masons worked from the top downward, meticulously carving the perfect geometry of the finished pyramid out of the pre-existing stone matrix, while recycling leftover debris for subsequent structures. But that was just the beginning of the mechanical evolution. As the physical challenges of vertical transport pushed ancient innovation into a realm resembling modern industrial automation.
A revolutionary engineering study published in 2024 challenges the concept of raw human muscle power, replacing it with the laws of fluid dynamics.
The hypothesis reveals that builders tapped into a lost, high-volume tributary of the Nile, channeling high-pressure water into the pyramid's internal shaft network. By harnessing hydrostatic pressure, ancient engineers created a prehistoric elevator, floating multi-ton stone blocks upward on wooden platforms like a hydraulic lift. But their biggest strength was about to become their fatal flaw when mathematicians scanned the monument's dimensions, uncovering a digital code embedded in the stone. On the surface, it looks simple, but behind closed doors, experts admit the Great Pyramid does not just sit in the desert. It functions as a mathematical scale model of planet Earth. If you take the precise height of the pyramid and multiply it by 43,200, you get the polar radius of the Earth.
And if you take the perimeter of its base
and multiply it by that same factor, you get the equatorial circumference.
The calculations become even more shocking when you measure the exact geographic latitude of the structure, which sits at precisely 29.97, 92458 degrees north, matching the numerical speed of light in meters per second down to the final decimal place. And this is where the physics make no sense. If we are dealing with a primitive Bronze Age society, though science shows this alignment is actually a mathematical coincidence. The ancient Egyptians never used the metric system to define meters per second, nor did they divide the Earth using a 360-degree grid for latitude. And the pyramid's exact center actually sits slightly off this coordinate line. Still, how did a culture without a magnetic compass, satellites, or optical surveying tools align the four massive base sides to true north with an error margin of just 0.05 degrees? This staggering precision has fueled theories of information suppression by official antiquities authorities. Independent researchers questioned the official timeline, suggesting Howard Weiss forged the red Khufu graffiti himself in 1837 to secure fame and protect expedition funding. But here is the catch that changes the stakes entirely.
The forgery theory has been completely debunked by modern analysis.
The graffiti was written in structural cavities, inaccessible to a 19th century counterfeiter, and contains specific Old Kingdom writing features that had not even been deciphered by linguists when Weiss discovered it. And that brings us to the most dangerous part of the story, because even if the timeline holds, we are still looking at remnants of a terrifyingly advanced engineering intelligence. Alternative researchers point to the neighboring Great Sphinx, claiming its deep fissures represent precipitation erosion from a time when the Egyptian desert was tropical, potentially pushing its origin back to the last ice age.
However, this remains a debated and unproven hypothesis.
Mainstream geologists reject the rain theory, demonstrating that these weathering patterns result from salt crystallization and wind erosion, acting on limestone layers over thousands of years, requiring no prehistoric climate shifts. When alternative researchers mapped the physical layout of the three Giza pyramids, they claimed their positions mirrored the Orion constellation's belt in 10,500 BC. However, precise computer simulations have challenged that date, showing the alignment was significantly more exact, around 2500 BC, matching the traditional timeline. But instead of answers, modern exploration has hit a wall of extreme caution. International physicists using advanced muon tomography, a technology tracking cosmic particles through solid rock, discovered a sealed void stretching over 30 meters above the Grand Gallery. While mystery enthusiasts claim it is being hidden, the reality is structural preservation. Authorities have paused invasive excavations because drilling into an unstable ancient void could trigger a catastrophic collapse. Science is not suppressing the truth. It is trying to explore these anomalies without destroying the last remaining wonder of the ancient world. Every minute they delayed was costing our collective understanding of human history a chance at the truth. The question is not whether this project matters, but which engineering boundary we will shatter next.
Drop your analysis. Do you believe the technological anomalies of Giza prove a hidden pre-Ice Age civilization?
Or are we underestimating the brilliant hydraulic and mathematical capabilities of ancient Egyptians?